Hey guys, I just wanted to make just a short video to touch base on index match function. I realized that some people had issues with index match function. So I'll try to kind of break it down a little bit, probably from a different angle than we discussed earlier in the material, and see if that will help. So for the index match function, so normally inside the index function, we have the match function. Now let's first start with the index only, right? Let's say we have the order number and we want to return the date, order date that corresponds to that order number, right? So what the index function does, right? You tell the index function that I have my table of the data, and this kind of doesn't change. Um, and for that table, for that table of the data, I want to return so it takes the position of the row position of the order that you have, and then the column position of the order date, right? So in this case, let's try this order number. It's in position number 4 if you count from row number 1, right? It's in row number 4. So you put a 4. And then for the column position, order date is in column number 2. So order number is column 1, order date is column number 2, then you put 2. So it returns this date, right? Let's see if I can put in the same format, right? It returns that date. Okay. How about if you wanted for the store name? Again, you do the same thing. So the index function, you tell it that, oh, I have my table of data. I need to return for this order number, which we have here, 10723. It's in position number 4, row number 4. I want to return, so the store name is in row number 4, right? Row number 4. And it's going to give you that value, right? The store name, right? So you do the same thing, So let's say before, you do the same thing for the product name. We know it's in position in F, which is 6. This will be 6. And the last one, we know it's in position number 7. So column number 7. So we have not changed the the order yet, right? And this is supposed to be in dollar amount. Okay. So that's the value so that's how the index works. So the index will tell you to have this table, go to row number 4 and column number 2 and number 6, and return the value at the intersection, right? So that's what we just did to return these values that were highlighted in yellow. Now we have an issue, right? Because you are putting in the numbers. So this is hard coding. If you change and you put a different order, right? Let's select a different order. The values are not going to change until you go back in and start changing. Now the order we've selected is in row number 5. Then you change this to 5, right? To get the right date. Right? And we don't want to do that, because if you're sharing the file with someone else, they may not know where to go to change. Or even if you change instead of the order, let's say the store ID, store name, and say, oh no, this time I just want to say who's the store manager. You see the value doesn't change because you had coded the numbers. Now, the reason why we want to use the match function, because the match function will always go and look at the position of the new order number, and then also the position of the new column that you've selected. So what the match function does, okay? You tell the match function that I have my value, order value, and by the way, this is always going to be the same, so you can do absolute indexing, right? Go to that column of that order value, right? And return the position of where that order is located. So it's going to be, in this case, it's going to be 5, right? Because it said 5. Let's move back to the previous order so that we are consistent. So it's in row number 4, right? As you see in that function, this is the 4, right? And then what about for the column, right? For the column, we do the same thing. You're telling it, now I have my column name. In this case, it's going to be the order name, the order date, right? Because that's what is selected. Maybe order date column, we can absolute the column, but we can leave the number, the row number, the cell position, not absolute. We'll see why. And then you tell it, but this column name, I want to find it in the position in the column header, right? Where is it located? And this we can absolute it because that always going to stay the same. Okay. 0, and then they do something. Okay. Oh, match. Sorry. We'll put the function name match. Okay. So again, match, you tell it the column, the item you are looking for, and where to look, where to look at the list of the names where you want to find the position, right? So it's going to return a 2. This 2 is what you have inside there. Now, what's going to happen if you change the order number? These values of match row and so for order number, because it's in the in one column, the position is going to change. And if you change this the header, also that will change, right? So we can just give it a try, change to a different order. So this row number value is going to change to 5, right? If you change the order date, the column name is going to change to whatever you decide. Let's say country, you see it changes to 5. So when you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, country column is in position number 5 in the columns, right? So let's go back to what we had before so that we are consistent, right? Now, now, in order for us to update, to have the right values here in the index match function, we are going to copy these formulas and put them inside the index function, right? So let me just copy the index function and put it here, right? Now, instead of hard coding a 4, we are going to come here and copy this match function and put it, when I copied, I didn't paste. The function, this function, okay, put it here. So then, yeah, never mind. So this is its format. Okay, just do this. So let's understand format. But instead of having the 4 and the 2, we're going to copy this function, match function, and put it inside here. And we'll do the same for the column, right? It's inside here, right? So you see, like we still have the same. So what happens when let me just block these down so that we know which the values we have, right? So okay, so 3 and 4, if you look into here, let's see, going to make sure 3 and 4. Okay, so is fine. Oh, okay. So we need to do absolute for this guy. Okay. Because this doesn't change. Okay. Okay, so when you drag down, okay, here inside you have 4 and 4, right? Row number 4 and column number 4. Auxiliary for that order and the product and the column name. We have 4 and 6, which are these, and then for order mount, you have 4 and 7. which are those, right? Since we made that small change, we need to update our formula, say the index match, the first match function. Okay, so if we are to drag down, okay, you see this is similar to that, right? If you continue dragging down, this is the other amount, right? As you can see, these values are the same. Now, you watch, if you change the order number, our index match function is going to update, right, to the right values. However, the index only is not going to change because remember we had coded it, right? So if you change, let's say you put a different order number, which is this one, it's in position number 7. You see the match and the column names will change, right? It's in position number 7. And of course, order date is in row number 2, which is that. So, and when you look, the date is January 9th, 2021. Now the new store name is there, right? The product is now Apple, and the order amount is $1,730, right? So that's why we are putting index match function inside an index function, so that we can just make small change from our list, and that value will update, right? So all these they will update as you change. Even when you try to change the column name, the index match version is going to update to match that column name. Let's say here we don't have any country, right? If you just change to a country, you see it gives you the right country. It's Chile, right? For this particular order in number 7, it's Chile, right? You can put it back to product name. Let's say we drag this formula down, and now in this case we put the country and drag this down. It's still going to give the right to the right. So again, that's the reason, right? To recap, index match takes, you tell it I have my table of the values. I want you to go to position number, let's say 4, and row number 2, and give me the value you have at intersection. That's what it does, right? But the problem is, if you hard code it, any changes you're going to make, you always have to come back and update those numbers. Now, if you have a very long table of data, let's say you have 220 or 50, like the one we used in the class, you always have to go and look where is that order number located. And then you have to find the position, and then put in the position, and do the same for the rows and the columns. Sometimes you have like 20, 30 columns. Every time you have to do that. So to avoid that, we use index match, right? Or even when you reorder the data, the formula will be able to pick the new order, so you don't have to go back and make any changes. So that's what I wanted to to add on what we discussed in class. If it was a little bit confusing, I hope this makes it a little bit clearer. And if you have any question, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Okay. All right. Have a nice day.